Hello and welcome to string art. Today's string art pattern is going to be a dream catcher. We're going to need a wooden base, a ruler, pliers, nails, a compass, a pencil, a triangle V ring, a hammer, and yarn. The wooden base that I'm going to use is 38 by 35. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our triangle V ring and we're going to place it in the middle on the edge of our wooden base. And we're going to take our small nails, that is for the triangle V ring, and our pliers. And we're going to place them in the holes that the triangle V ring has. Now, we're going to turn our wooden base on the right side up. And we're going to take our pencil and we're going to make a dot, not in the center. We're going to make it a little bit upwards. We're going to make a dot. And we're going to take our compass. We're going to put the point of the compass on the dot. And we're going to make a circle. Now we're going to make a little bit bigger our compass. We're going to put the point on the dot again, and we're going to draw one more circle. Now we're going to make our compass really small, and we're going to put the point of the compass on the dot again, and we're going to draw a small circle. Now we're going to take our ruler, we're going to place it on the circle so it's lined up with the dot, and we're going to draw a line that comes through the middle circle, through the small circle, through the dot, and back to the middle circle. We're going to do the same thing on this side. On this side, and on this side. Now I'm going to make dots where the lines come through the circles. And I'm going to make dots where the lines meet with the middle circle. Now I'm going to start with this dot, and I'm going to make a curved line that connects with the dot on the middle circle. Now, from the dot on the middle circle, I'm going to make a curved line that connects with the second dot on the circle, on the small circle. Now I'm going to turn my wooden base, and on the dot that we stopped at, we're going to make a curved line, and it's going to connect on the second dot on the middle circle. And now I'm going to make a curved line, and it's going to connect with the fifth dot on the small circle. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Now on the dots that we haven't used, like this one, where it's in the middle of the two curved lines that we already made, we're going to make a curved line and it's going to connect on the dot on the middle circle that we haven't used. And from here, we're going to make another curved line and it's going to connect on the second dot from the one that we just made the curved line. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other dots. Now I'm going to erase all the straight lines. Be careful you don't erase the curved lines that we just made in the small circle. Now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw feathers. First, we start at the beginning of the circle, of the big circle, and we're going to draw a wavy line. Now on the middle of the circle, we're going to draw another wavy line, and at the end of the circle, we're going to make another wavy line. Now we're going to draw the feathers. Now we're going to put the nails on the drawing that we just made. We're going to start from the center of the Dreamcatcher, so it's going to be easier to do the outside of the Dreamcatcher later. First, my first nail, I'm going to put it on the dot on the small circle that we made before. My next nail is going to be on the second dot on the small circle. And we're going to repeat the same step. We're going to put the nails on the dots that we made on the small circle. After we do the small circle, we're going to take a nail and we're going to put it in where the two curved lines meet. Now, my next nail is going to be in the middle of the curved line. My next nail is going to be at the dot on the middle circle that we made before. Right here where the Dreamcatcher makes a point. Now we're going to repeat the same step on the rest of the inside of the Dreamcatcher. Now that we finished with the inside of the Dreamcatcher, we're going to put two nails in the middle of each point, of each 2 points. So we're going to take our first nail, we're going to put it on the middle circle, and we're going to put one more nail right here. Because at the end, if we don't put at least 2 nails on the middle circle, in each empty space right here inside of 2 points, at the end, when we put the yarn, it's going to form an edge, and it's not going to be circular. Now that we finished with the middle circle, we're going to start putting nails on the bigger circle. I'm going to start by putting a nail on the top of the circle. And I'm going to put the next nail about 1 centimeter apart from the nail that I put in before. I'm going to repeat the same step until I finish the outside of the circle. Now that we finished putting in nails on the bigger circle, we're going to start putting in nails on the feathers. We're going to put nails on the lines that we made and on the line that goes through the feathers. And after we put the nails on the lines, what we're going to do next is we're going to put nails on the feather. We're going to put one nail on the top of the feather that connects with the wavy line. The next nail is going to be a little bit apart from the nail that we just put in. And the rest of the nails that we're going to put on the feathers are going to be on the points that the feathers make. So we're going to put one nail on the point that goes outside of the feather. And the next nail that we're going to put in is going to be on the point that goes inside of the feather. And we're going to repeat the same step until the feathers are finished. When we finish putting in the nails on the Dreamcatcher, we're going to take our yarn. I'm going to use a blue yarn and a gray sparkling yarn. I'm going to take my gray yarn, I'm going to take the end, and I'm going to make a knot on one of the nails that are on the inside of the Dreamcatcher. If you see on the drawing that we made, it hasn't erased, so we're going to follow the drawing. The knot that I made on the nail, if you see, it's on the point of the Dreamcatcher, on the inside of the Dreamcatcher. It's on one of the points. So after I make my knot, I'm going to stretch my yarn and I'm going to loop it on a nail that is on the curved line that we drew before. And then I'm going to stretch it and I'm going to loop it back on the nail that we made the first knot. Now I'm going to stretch it again and I'm going to make a loop on a nail that is on the other curved line that we made. And I'm going to loop it back to the nail that we first made the knot. Now I'm going to stretch it again and I'm going to loop it on the last nail that we looped the yarn. Now I'm going to stretch it again and I'm going to make a loop around a nail that is on the curved line. And I'm going to stretch it back and I'm going to loop it around the previous nail. I'm going to stretch it again. I'm going to loop it around the last nail that we looped around the yarn. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to follow the drawing. We're going to repeat the same step until the inside of the Dreamcatcher is finished. And we're going to be careful so the inside of the Dreamcatcher doesn't fill in. We're going to follow the drawing and we just want to loop the yarn around all of the nails that are on the lines. But make sure that the yarn follows the lines and doesn't come inside of the drawing. Now that we finished with the inside of the Dreamcatcher, it's supposed to look like this, like a flower. We're going to cut the end of the yarn and we're going to make a knot on the nail that we stopped at. Now that I finished with the inside of the Dreamcatcher, I'm going to do the feathers next, and I'm going to take the gray yarn again and I'm going to tie a knot on the point that the feather makes. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to place the yarn on the nails that are on the center of the feather, on the line that I made, and I'm going to make it the same way that I did the center of the Dreamcatcher. When I come to the top of the feather, I'm going to stretch the yarn and I'm going to do the outside of the feather. The feather is drawn from before, so it's going to help us place the yarn on the nails how they're supposed to go in order. I'm going to do just the outside of the feather. I don't want my feather to be filled in with yarn, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the center of the feather. I'm going to do on the rest of the feather. Now when I finished with the feather and I came back to the beginning on the top of the feather, I'm going to cut the yarn. I'm going to make a knot on the nail that I finished at. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other two feathers. Now that we finished with the feathers, we're going to take the other color of yarn. I'm going to use blue. I'm going to take the end of the yarn and I'm going to tie a knot on the top of the bigger circle. Now we're going to stretch our yarn and we're going to loop it around the next nail that makes the bigger circle. And we're going to stretch it again and we're going to loop it around the next nail. We're going to repeat the same step until the bigger circle is finished. Now, when we come back to the beginning where we made our knot, we're going to stretch the yarn and we're going to loop it around a nail that makes the middle circle. Next, we're going to stretch the yarn and we're going to loop it around the next nail that makes the middle circle. And we're going to repeat the same step until we come back to the beginning, where we made the first loop on the middle circle. Now on this nail, there's yarn already, but it doesn't matter. We're going to loop the other yarn on top of the yarn that was there before. Now, when we come back to the beginning where we made our first loop on the nail that makes the middle circle, we're going to stretch the yarn and we're going to fill all the circle in with yarn. At the end, there's not supposed to be many spaces empty. They're mostly supposed to be filled with yarn, and there's no specific pattern that we're going to fill in the circle. We just stretch the yarn and we loop it around the nails. Now that we finished filling in the circle, we're going to cut the end of the yarn and we're going to tie a knot on the nail that we finished at. Now that we finished with the circle, I'm going to take my blue yarn again and I'm going to tie a knot around a nail that the wavy line that we drew before started. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the yarn, and what I did to fill in the Dreamcatcher, that's what I'm going to do now again until all 3 lines are finished. So I'm going to stretch the yarn and I'm going to loop it on the next nail. I'm going to loop it back on the nail that I first made the knot. I'm going to loop it again in the front nail, and then I'm going to stretch it again. I'm going to loop it around the next nail, back on the previous nail. Next, I'm going to stretch it again and bring it to the next nail that we last looped the yarn, and I'm going to make another loop and stretch it on the next nail. When we finish with the wavy line, we're going to cut the end of the yarn and we're going to tie a knot. And we're going to do the same thing on the last curvy line. Now that we finished putting on the yarn on the Dreamcatcher, we're going to cut the ends of the yarn, and we can either glue them on the other pieces of yarn that is on the Dreamcatcher, or we can tuck them under the yarn. And that was it. Our Dreamcatcher is finished. If you liked the video, don't forget to click on the like button under the video. Also, don't forget to comment under the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.